Hello everyone. Hi there. Sabrina here. Welcome back. You are on day 2 of our Becoming a Diamond Manifestation for Success challenge. So congratulations. You have made it to day 2. And I know yesterday I challenged all of you to remain consistent, to put yourselves first. And so I hope to see you here live, and if not, on a replay. So let me know you're here, say hello. And as per usual, if you are watching live or on a replay, I encourage you to participate, to engage, to ask questions. Let us learn together and learn from each other. Hello, Lorraine, all the way from UK. Good to have you here. And so I just wanted to say that we are on day 2. And today we're going to be talking about manifestation in faith. We're going to talk about what that really means and how to trust your intuition. So this is really, really important. This whole process of having faith is really important when we talk about manifestation and bringing manifestation into our life. So before we get right into it, just a few little housekeeping details. I first of all just wanted to thank each and every one of you. I always enjoy doing these live trainings because then the feedback I get, the questions, the comments is phenomenal. And so thank you for all of you who have reached out. Thank you for those of you who have taken advantage of the breakthrough activation calls, and for those of you who have booked some. So I just wanted to encourage you. This is free and it is part of this training. And so I encourage each and every one of you that if you have not had a breakthrough activation call, please reach out. Drop call in the comments below, and myself or Jordana will be in contact with you in order to facilitate that. Good morning, Jordana. And here she is. She must have had her ears ringing because I was just talking about her. And so I really, really encourage that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you. A reminder that the workbook, I put the link in this video. This is your guide for the week. And I can't stress enough the importance of using it, using the material, doing the tasks, doing the worksheets, because it applies what you are learning. And that will make it that much more stronger in your mind to be able to continue moving forward once this training is done. Okay, so if you have not received the workbook, click on the link above so that you can download it. All of our lives are going to be happening at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because for this particular challenge, we started on a Tuesday, it's actually going to go until Saturday. And so if you can hop on live, that's the best. But if you have to catch the replay, that's okay too. We just want you to be able to access this free training. And then there's that giveaway that's happening of the Manifestation Diamond goodies. I'm really excited. I've put this together with a lot of my favorites that have helped me along in terms of my own manifestation process. And so if you are interested in learning about this, if you are enjoying this training and you're enjoying being in this community, all you have to do is share your enjoyment with your social media network. So just ask us how. Just ask us how, reach out, and we will get you that information. And then finally, tomorrow, I'm really excited about this. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be talking about some of the universal laws. And I'm going to be talking about how we can apply these universal laws to become a conscious creator. And so I encourage you to hop on tomorrow at 11 a.m. for that particular training. Okay, so let's get into talking about faith. This is such an important topic. And so no matter what our beliefs are, no matter, where we come from, we all believe in something. We all believe in something. And we fuse that belief and it becomes part of our fabric. It becomes part of our very being of who we are. And this is awesome. This is great, but it's also a huge responsibility. It's a huge responsibility for us, because what that really and truly means is we are in charge. We are the only ones that are in charge. We are in charge of our beliefs. We are in charge of the flow of how things happen to us and for us. And we are in charge of the direction of where our life goes. The responsibility is on us. And so that's why it's so important to understand our beliefs. It's so important to get clear on what beliefs are negative, what beliefs are not serving us. Because if we come from a negative place, if we have these negative, strong belief systems, where do you think we're going to go? Where do you think the direction is going to go for us? Not in a positive way, or at the very least, it's going to be a struggle, because we're basing everything coming from a negative place. So it's really, really important to do the work. It's very important to do the work. I want you to listen intently as I say these statements. Maybe think about if there are some that resonate with you. Okay, so listen. I've got this. It will never work out. But what if I'm wrong? What if I'm right? What if I fail? What if I fly? These are all powerful statements that I guarantee each and every one of us have used, have said to ourselves. And it's really interesting because these statements are polar opposites: faith and worry. That's what they are. They're two opposite ways to view the exact same situation. You can either choose to say, you've got this, or it will never work out. For the same situation. It's your choice. And the interesting thing is we need to believe in something invisible for either of those choices. Isn't that wild? Where faith and fear both ask that we believe in something that we cannot see. It then becomes our choice. Good morning, Jose. It is our choice how we choose to view any given situation. Worry or fear is a belief that something bad can happen. Faith is a belief that something good can happen. You don't see fear or faith. It boils down to your choice and your perception of how you choose to see any circumstance that is presented before you. You're welcome, Jose. It is your choice. It takes as much belief either way, as much effort either way. It's your choice. So why do we spend so much time worrying? Isn't it just a colossal waste of time? Really and truly. But it's just so easy. It seems to come so natural. It seems to be our go-to is to choose to worry. But this is your paradigm talking. It's your paradigm speaking to you. It wants to keep you in a place that you know, inside your comfort zone, even if that comfort zone is causing you grief. This is your paradigm keeping you there. I remember I used to spend so many waking hours worrying. If you're a worrier like I used to be, where it would even keep you up at night, or you would automatically think the worst or all the possible ways that something could go wrong, if that's you, drop worry or below. I was there. And it's a paradigm that I still intentionally have to work against. And so it's common. I sometimes would even feel sick to my stomach thinking about potential future events that may not even happen. So you worry about something that might not even exist. But what tends to happen? What tends to happen when you're worrying about something that could potentially happen? You end up manifesting that into your life, because that's the energy that you are exuding. You're telling the universe this is what you want, because that's what you're putting your energy. That's where you're focusing your energy and your vibration and your frequency. And so all this worry is just going to end up causing you more grief. It really and truly is. And so I thought that this was normal. I thought it was normal to just always be worrying about the possible negative outcomes that could happen, and then to try and have plans A, B, and C in place. But then I invested into myself, and I immersed myself in this coaching material, and one day I gave that all up. I realized it was like a bad habit. It was a bad habit that I had gotten very comfortable with. So see, I'm trying to keep myself where it's comfortable, because I know, even though it's not doing me any favors. So once I realized that this was a habit that I could let go of, I did. This material helped me to see that I could give it up and that I could adopt faith over worry and fear. It's very powerful. It wasn't easy, but it actually wasn't hard either. You have to look at it as a decision. It was a decision. It just required focus and repetition, a lot of repetition. And I noticed that letting that worrying go allows room for then your faith to grow, because you're no longer focusing your attention on the worry and on the fear and the what ifs. So your faith can bloom, and it grows into a beautiful thing. And then you learn to trust it. You know, I heard this somewhere recently, and it really and truly stuck with me. We actually don't have a verb for faith. Faithing is not a thing, but it should be. It should be. So let's talk about this verb faithing. The hardest thing in the world, really and truly, is learning how to trust ourselves and to trust our intuition, but it should be the easiest. We give so freely in trusting other people, yet we don't allow that for ourselves. And so we need to learn how to trust ourselves and how to trust our intuition. And I've been completely guilty of this. I've been completely guilty of this, where I've asked anyone and everyone for help when I have a big decision, what their advice is, what their opinion is. I've asked them all instead of listening to the most important opinion, the voice inside me. That is the most important opinion, and the only opinion that you really and truly should focus your attention on. What is that voice inside you telling you. You have tried to tune out that voice for too long, my brothers and sisters. Now is the time. Now is the time to let that voice be heard loud and clear. Most of the time, when we're asking outside of ourselves for information or to be guided outside of ourselves, we are ignoring. We're ignoring that intuition that's already residing inside of us. We are choosing. It's our choice. We are choosing to ignore it. What's the problem with that? We just don't know how to trust it. Because for far too long, we have been silencing it. For far too long, we have been worried about what other people might think, whether we may fail. We've allowed all of our worries and our fears to get in the way for far too long. So what is faith? What is faith? It's the complete trust or confidence in someone or something. That's what faith is. It is the substance. It's the substance of things to hope for. The evidence of things not seen. So how do we cultivate this faith? Because remember, both worry and faith believe that it asks that we believe in something that we cannot see. So for far too long, we've been cultivating worry and fear. So now we need to reverse it. So how do we cultivate our faith? We have to practice patience. We need to understand that it's going to take time to reprogram our way of thinking, to reprogram our negative paradigm that has always taught us to mistrust and to question and to worry. So there's beauty actually to be found in this journey. A flower seed doesn't bloom the very first day it's planted. A butterfly doesn't spread its wings from the cocoon. It takes time. Take your cues from nature. That's what nature tells us. In order to be successful in anything, it's going to take time. You need to nurture it. You need to allow it to develop and to grow. You have to trust the timing of things and that it has a purpose. Things are happening for you, not to you. It's very powerful. The second thing is you have to continue whatever practices you have that have historically helped you in building your hope and building your faith. So it could be spiritual practices. It could be, yoga, meditation, visualization. All of those things is really, really important because it helps you to connect to yourself. It helps you to connect to yourself. And so Uzma has just made a comment. I understand that, but when I assume things are all right, it blows up in my face. And so what I would challenge to you, Uzma, is that you may be trying to tell yourself that things are all right, but do you believe it internally? If you dig down deep, do you really and truly believe that things are going to be all right? There's a difference. So that's what I would say to ask yourself. It's that belief, that unwavering faith. And it could do with even your self-image as well. So maybe think about that. The third thing to cultivate faith is to serve others, really and truly. You know, there's no joy in faith if you don't share it. It's part of why I do what I do. You're welcome, Uzma. If you are serving others, even in your own hardships, even if you are struggling, if you are serving others, it helps your mind, body, and soul, because it helps it recognize that the world goes beyond our own hurt. It goes beyond what we are personally going through. And that there might be greater work here that's happening that you don't truly understand. And when you are serving others, you are putting that energy out into the universe, the vibration, an attitude of service. And so if that's what you're putting out into the universe, that's what you're going to receive. So it's very powerful. You need to understand that you actually have a unique opportunity to help create a world where we are all healing one another. Imagine how wonderful that could be if we were all trying to serve one another and help one another. It would create a much more positive world and environment that we live in. You know, my journey, for those of you who may or may not know, I'm a social worker by profession. And I actually started out in healthcare for many, many years. And so my journey from being a social worker to then venturing into this wonderful world of entrepreneurship to now where I have my own coaching business and I'm a manifestation and mindset success coach. It's not always been easy. I've gone through some of these struggles that I'm talking about. And so it's not always been easy. And there was always others who had differing opinions of what I should or should not be doing, right? There's always going to be external factors. But what's happening is these external factors are coming from their own paradigms. If they're not doing the work, they're trying to hold you back to what they feel is comfortable. So you've probably experienced something similar to this. You know, when you're pursuing your own goals and dreams. If you've experienced this, where there's been external factors that have held you back, drop a wave below. It's very, very common. Most people are reluctant. Most people are reluctant to step out and to act on a big idea for fear of what they will lose. That's a big fear. We start to think about all the what if opportunities that could potentially happen. Yet if we stop and think about it, if we truly, truly stop and think about it, we'd realize that the worst, the absolute worst that could possibly happen is usually not all that bad. But the best that could happen is generally incredible. It's generally incredible. So this is an internal battle that we go through. It's an internal battle that's reflective within our mind. We have a conscious mind, which is our thinking mind, and then a subconscious mind, which is our emotional mind. And our emotional mind is based on these core beliefs, these paradigms of experiences that we have had. And this shapes our behaviors or habits. And so our conscious mind, our thinking mind, feeds our emotional mind. And it feeds it. And then we have these automatic thoughts that happen within our head. And these automatic thoughts are based in our learned experiences. But these learned experiences are not necessarily based in facts. It's usually our perceptions of how we saw or how we experienced what happened. But it's not necessarily factual. And so these perceptions then feed our fear, which cultivates indecision, cultivates worry, it cultivates doubt. So therefore, we go back to the point that fear and worry is a state of mind. And it's a state of mind, and we control the direction this state of mind takes. It's all in our choices. So when we're faced with a situation, we have intuition, that little voice that tries to come up, that feeling inside that tells us where we should go. I call that our intuitive hits, right? And so our intuitive hits is our mind, and it goes into overdrive. Our mind then goes into overdrive and tries to silence these intuitive hits. It tries to stop them from surfacing. And it's doing that because it's a very uncomfortable feeling. My paradigm or your paradigm wants you to stay again where it's comfortable, where it's familiar. It doesn't want you to go into uncharted and unknown territory. And that's why it's trying to hold you back. So that's what happens to everyone. When we impress a new idea on our subconscious mind, we immediately go to the place of where we try to figure out how it's not going to work. Who here does that? Who here immediately tries to figure out all the reasons why it's not going to work? It's very, very common. And that's because our paradigm is trying to keep us where it is familiar. So we immediately start to figure out the how this is going to happen. But the problem with that is when we try to immediately go to figuring out the how, we're doing it from a place of what we currently know. And what we currently know is based in our negative paradigm. Do you see where the conundrum is here? So if you go to trying to figuring out the how to make something possible, you're using what you currently know. And so that's the problem. That's the problem. We are then reluctant. We're reluctant. And then we're reluctant to move forward. And so we limit ourselves to what we currently know. And that's why it is so, so important to address our negative core beliefs. That's why it's so important to reprogram those negative core beliefs. Because as long as you sit with that, and as long as you allow that to continue to control you, you will continue to remain where you are comfortable, even though it's not serving you. Even though it's not serving you. Because we want to stay where we are comfortable. But where does the magic happen? There's the famous quote. Where does the magic happen? The magic happens outside of your comfort zone. That's where it happens. Outside of your comfort zone. And so Uzma You're asking if that's just taking precautions. So I would ask you what those precautions are based in. Are those precautions based in actual facts or what you perceive could potentially happen? And so in your workbook for the trainings, there's an exercise for this particular training that I'm really, really excited about. And I put it in this section intentionally. And I hope that each and every one of you will complete this. Because this particular exercise will allow you to see where the shifts need to happen. And I remember the first time I did this, it was really, really impactful in a very positive and powerful way. So you're going to reflect and you're going to document all the things that are not currently serving you. I want you to write it all down. Don't second guess it. Don't start to overanalyze. Go with your gut. And I want you to write down every single thing that is not currently serving you in your life. It could be situations, it could be people, it could be emotions, things, etc. Whatever it is, you need to write it all down. And then once you have written it all down, you are going to destroy that piece of paper. You can either rip it up, shred it. For me, myself, I lit it on fire in a bowl. I would suggest doing that in a well-ventilated area. But there was something about lighting it on fire and watching it burn that was really powerful. So if you can do that, I would highly recommend that. And while you are destroying it, I want you to say out loud, not in your head. You need to say it out loud and with confidence that I release what is no longer serving me from this day forward. That's right, it's a brain dump, Jordana. I want you to do that. And then I'm asking that you share your experience in this community. That homework accountability post is going to go up. And so I want you to share your experience either via comment, what it meant for you, maybe where your struggles were, maybe something that you realized. You can show a picture. You can take a picture of you actually doing the task, or even take a video so that you have it recorded, so that you can go back and remind yourself. But I want you to post this in that homework accountability post, because not only are you doing the task, and you are releasing, and it acts as a symbolism to you of what you are releasing. It's then cathartic to then share it with a community of individuals who are supportive and who are all on the same path. And so this is what I'm asking you to do. So today, my friends, I'm saying have faith. Faith in your dreams. Faith in yourself. Faith in the direction that you want to go. Faith in your future. Faith in love. Your creator, whoever your creator is, has got your back. The universe is here, holding you gently, waiting. Everything on this planet is literally conspiring for your happiness. You just need to take a chance. You need to take a risk. You need to step out. You need to step out into your greatness. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. There's no changes that need to be made. You need to go out, step out in faith, and create your masterpiece. You and you alone. The world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for you to share your gifts that your Creator gave you, that you are not tapping into, because we have limitless potential. So this is my final message to you. And if you're ready today to commit to yourself, to commit to your masterpiece, and jump all in with me on your journey to having faith and creating your life, your dreams, I want you to say faithing. It's going to be our new verb. I want you to say faithing in the comments, and I will reach out to you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for participating. I look forward to seeing all your comments and pictures and videos from this release exercise. Let's show everybody that we are ready. Thank you so much, Sabrina.